Very good evening. This is Eswatini TV News Bulletin at 8. We're coming to you live from the capital of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Mbabane. My name is Notelesi Tole. First up, here's a look at tonight's headlines. On account of a recovery in economic activity in all sectors, the economy of the country is expected to grow by 2.7% in 2021. The Ministry of Education, together with UNICEF, today visited schools in Manzini to monitor compliance to the COVID-19 regulations. MTN Eswatini has launched the MTN Imfundo online application for students and teachers. And now the news in detail. Projections show that the Eswatini economy will grow by 2.7% in 2021. The observed growth is on account of a recovery in economic activity in all sectors of the economy. This is contained in a monetary policy statement issued by the Central Bank of Eswatini.
In a monetary statement by the Central Bank of Eswatini, Mrs. Tole reveals that the year-on-year headline consumer inflation eased to 3.9% in February 2021 from 4.3% in January 2021. Sitole says contributing to the slowdown were prices for education, which recorded a zero growth on year-on-year compared to 6.8% the previous month. Stolle added that there was a slower increase in food prices from 5.3% in January to 5.1% in February 2021, as well as prices for furnishing and household equipment, which grew at a slower rate of 4.8% in February compared to 5.5% in the previous year. He further stated that inflation forecasts were revised down to 4.33% in 2021 from 5.42% projected in January. Stolle says that the downward revision is due to a combination of lower than anticipated inflation outcomes for February 2021 coupled with lower than expected increase in domestic utility tariffs. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangen in Mbabane.
In early March 2021, the Ministry of Health received an initial shipment of 32,000 multi-dose vials of Covishield AstraZeneca vaccine manufactured in India by the Serum Institute of India. In a statement issued by the Minister for Health, Lizinkosi, the vaccine packaging indicates that each vial contains 10 doses, and this vaccine has been deployed to help those over 60 and those with comorbidities, utilizing both the ministry's facilities and at the community level. The minister says multi-dose vials of vaccines, including COVID-19 vaccines from AstraZeneca, Pfizer and Moderna, have all been found by multiple sources in various countries to contain extra doses in addition to the number of doses stated on the package labeling. Minister Ngozi says many countries and regulatory bodies, including the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, have authorized the use of extra doses of the various vaccine types when the full recommended dose can be obtained. She says some vials of the Covishield AstraZeneca vaccine have been found to contain up to 6 full milliliters of the vaccine, and when using the auto-disable syringes provided with the Covishield AstraZeneca vaccine, it is easily possible to obtain 11 or even 12 full 0.5 milliliters doses and still have a small amount of vaccine left over. Also, the minister says the vials do not contain residue and every full dose is effective, which means the additional supply means that the total number of vaccine doses the country has actually received is slightly over 32,000 as earlier stated, and that more people will be vaccinated with the first shipment. Furthermore, the minister says to date, the total number of vaccinations stands at 32,958, of which 9,237 are healthcare workers, and that the Ministry of Health appreciates the public's enthusiastic engagement with this vaccination exercise. Some pupils say they were unable to follow home learning programs on national television and radio due to technical glitches now and again on both broadcasts, thus missing out most of the time. They said this during a tour by UNICEF and the Ministry of Education delegation to St. Teresa's High School and Manzini Nazarene practicing schools to check on COVID-19 precautions by the schools.
Members from UNICEF and the Ministry of Education visited St. Teresa High School in Manzini to check and inspect the COVID-19 precautions if they are observed in the school. The school seemed to have everything in order in as far as COVID is concerned. When pupils enter the school's gate, they wash their hands. After washing their hands, they do check their temperatures in all these provided water hand washing facilities. The delegation was then taken around the school and inside classrooms where social distancing is observed in every class. When asked if they managed to learn whilst at home, some said the television and radio broadcast would have glitches now and again, which made it impossible for them to follow the home learning programs.
We couldn't find the channel, but it would happen that I would listen to the teacher and then midway I would cut off because there would be technical difficulties.
It was very difficult to learn mathematics and English.
For students, when it comes to French, it was very difficult.
And their teachers to be able to resume education without being at the risk of contracting the COVID-19.
The Nazarene practicing head teacher Vusikama says the ministry assisted them in terms of hand washing facilities in the school. The COVID-19 pandemic has challenged all stakeholders to reimagine education and embark on a drive to come out of the pandemic. The team is impressed with the level of precautions from both schools. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian MCB, Manzini.
The Elections and Boundaries Commission would like to inform members of the public from the following chiefdoms under the following constituencies to be part of the by-election civic and voter education meetings scheduled for the 24th of April 2021. Manzini Region, Lamkapi constituency at Enhlulweni Chiefdom, Place Emphakathi. Shiselweni, Matsanjeni South constituency at Gubambije Chiefdom, Place Emphakathi. Shiselweni, Matsanjeni South constituency at Ensalije Chiefdom, Place at Emphakathi. Shiselweni 1 constituency at Dumengungwini Chiefdom, Place at Emphakathi. The meetings start at 9 a.m. Members of the public are urged to protect themselves from COVID-19 by adhering to all the COVID-19 regulations that have been put in place by the Ministry of Health to curb the spread of the virus. The announcement is made by the chairperson of the EPC, Prince Mhlaplangeni Dlamini. In a bid to invest in education, MTN Eswatini has launched the MTN Imfundo online application for students and teachers. According to MTN Eswatini's Chief Executive Officer Wandile Mjali, the application will allow teachers and pupils to be able to follow lessons and the syllabus online. Mjali was speaking during the official launch of MTN Imfundo online application.
MTN Eswatini continues to improve the education sector in Eswatini as they have founded an application that will allow pupils from all the schools within the country to tap into e-learning. MTN Eswatini's Chief Executive Officer Wandile Mjali says the application will make it easy for pupils and parents to apply for places in schools.
We as MTN, we believe that every Eswatini deserves the benefits of a modern connected life. And this we have shown by the fact that to date MTN covers over 96% population in the Kingdom of Eswatini. So which means as we bring this particular product, it will reach out to the rest of the population within the kingdom. So wherever you are across the 4 regions of the kingdom and each and every school that is in this kingdom, they will be able to benefit from this particular product. To date, we're talking about MTN reaching over 60% of our customers using mobile money as a platform. So even when the learners are using this particular platform, they will be able to use mobile money as means to purchase some of the products that the access to these platforms so that at any time they do not have to leave their homes to go and buy a product. So I think we've actually addressed the very key requirements for all the learners.
Nomthandazo Dlamini from MTN assured Eswatini that pupils will access the MTN network as teams from MTN will go on the ground to ensure that they don't experience challenges. For Eswatini TV, Sondomlangeni with Kian MCB in Ezulwini.
On the 1st of April this year, the Ministry of Agriculture started issuing online phytosanitary certificates. This was said by Cindy Ngumalo, who is the Regional Plant Protection Officer, who stated that at the moment they issue the certificates for timber and its products.
In September last year, the Ministry of Agriculture launched the National Plant Health Inspectorate Services Portal, which deals with issuing of permits for exportation and importation of plants and plant products. Cindy Ngumalo, the Regional Plant Protection Officer, says they have since added the issuing of phytosanitary certificates on the portal.
April sabese-ke sesichubekela phambili sichubekisela kule hlelo leli le-phytosanitary certificate.
She says from the 1st of April this year, they started issuing the phytosanitary certificates. She continues to say that these certificates are only for timber and timber products for now. She further says farmers who wish to get the certificates should apply for it 7 days before to allow the research center to do all the processes needed to issue it. Ngumalo states that the portal has about 2,000 searches per day and there are about 400 people who are registered on it, whilst giving the details of their website.
The address yelikhasi lethu ke ithi www.nafis.gov.sz.
Ngumalo encourages Eswatini to use the website as it is a cost-cutting initiative. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, Nelson Ndlangamandla, Muzi Mkhonda, Malkens.
The Manzini Region Administration Chief Gija says the outbreak of the COVID-19 has increased numbers of vulnerable people in different communities, which has increased the need for Eswatini to assist one another. Chief Gija was speaking during the official launch of Dr. John Nash Foundation.
The founder of Divine Healing Ministries Churches in Eswatini, Bishop Nash Shong, has founded the Dr. John Nash Foundation, which is looking to assist the needy, especially the elderly. The Manzini Region Administrator, Chief Gija, says the people of Manzini will benefit from the foundation as it has become an industrial town. Chief Gija says other people have lost their jobs due to COVID-19, hence the need for the assistance.
It's an industrial city. Lapho labanengi bantu bebedinga imisebenzi iphazamile ngendzaba ye-COVID. Sebanengi nebantu khanze sebede nekudla. Labanye vele sebatelwe la. Le foundation sikhanza itaba lusito lokhulu lesikhanza ukuthi vele siyacela ukuthi lonesandla akayisekele ngoba ayisi just ya Dr. Nash. I-foundation letangasana sankulunkulu yawonke umuntu letosita abantu abahluphekile. Lokhu-ke sikhanza sinekututungu lokukhulu lokuthinta impilo yomuntu lokuthinta ukusimama kwelive.
Prince Mandla, who represented Liqoqo Chairperson Paul Dlamini, commended Shonge for the initiative. Bishop Nash Shonge says that the foundation will assist the elderly. Shonge further stated that the foundation will build houses for the needy. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni with Nomalungelo Jele in Manzini.
The director of Mana Children's Center, an NGO from South Korea, says there is a dire need to assist girls with sanitary towels because most girls are unable to help themselves and fall prey to older men. The organization donated sanitary towels to girls at Eswatini area under the Lobamba constituency.
Upon seeing the dire need of sanitary towels for girls in the country, the Mana Children's Center, an NGO from South Korea, has donated sanitary towels to 24 girls from the Eswatini area under the Lobamba constituency. This will help boost the girls' self-esteem. Daniel Kim, the director of the organization, says he was touched after seeing a girl using newspapers for her monthly period.
While I'm working together with the Ministry of Health, I found the issue of the hygiene, especially for girls. So together with the other sponsors from Korea and America, we decide to take some donation for sanitary towels for the girls. It's been 4 years we're doing this. Almost 5 schools all around the country in Eswatini. We donate more than 30,000 sanitary pads.
Thanking on behalf of the beneficiaries was Nompilo Dlamini, who said the towels are a need for them every month. She says for some of them, their parents can no longer afford to buy for them the sanitary towels due to COVID-19, and they couldn't even save money because schools were closed. She says she hopes that her peers will not be tempted to sell their bodies just to buy these sanitary towels, as some fall to that temptation. She says she hopes that Mr. Kim will come back again because for them, they need these sanitary towels monthly. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian MCB, Eswatini, Lobamba.
The Embassy of the Republic of China in Taiwan has donated 50 bags of maize, wheelchairs, walking sticks and crutches to residents of Madonsa in Manzini. This will help alleviate poverty and assist people living with disabilities.
The Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, has donated maize, wheelchairs, crutches and walking sticks for the visually impaired Madonsa Umphakathi. The bags of maize were 50 times 30 kg, 4 wheelchairs, 2 walking sticks and 2 crutches. Trevor Ngampalala, a member of the Madonsa Inner Council, thanked the different gifts on behalf of the beneficiaries.
Bekunesidingo lesikhulu salokudla njalo sibona sihlaselwe ngayo iCovid-19.
He says the food parcels will go a long way because many are from poverty-stricken families who are struggling to make ends meet. He pleads with the wheelchair beneficiaries to faithfully return the wheelchairs whenever a person happens to somehow recover or in an unfortunate incident when one passes away. He says members must bring it back and head it over to the areas Umphakathi so that others can benefit as well. I'm Kian MCB, Madonsa.
An organization meant for the development of emerging countries known as COSP, supported by the EU, says a nation that is empowered or rather empowered in all sectors can play a major role in the development of communities and country. This was said by Ayanda Skudla, who is the Women and Youth Coordinator during the Women and Youth Empowerment Forum at Eswatini Lodge.
COSP is an organization meant for the development of emerging countries and it is supported by the European Union. The organization says it is important to educate people in different sectors so that they can be in a position to make a meaningful contribution in decision making. Ayanda Sikudla, who is the Women and Youth Coordinator at the organization, gives details about a youth and women forum they conducted.
There are 10 agenda documents that have come up from the different 10 communities, and these agendas are bringing up issues like infrastructure within the community. It could be the participation of women in leadership. It could be issues of road infrastructure. It could be issues of participation in decision making at community level, or the access to land for women and youth, or land for purposes of businesses in the community. So we are here to create a platform where we are to discuss with leadership that we should make all these resources accessible for women and youth at community level.
Indima ledlalwe ngikhosiphe inkulu kakhulu bantu abakethu.
Some of the people who benefited from the organization's fund expressed their gratitude for the support, saying they have been able to start businesses. They say the organization has taught them the importance of recycling. They further thanked the organization for reaching out to Eswatini in rural communities. The organization has supported projects from different communities with close to 500,000 emalangeni. Other organizations who were part of the seminar include Kwakainvodza, Luvati and Eswatini Community Multimedia Network, to name a few. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Muzimkonda, Matapa.
The Eswatini Principals Association says most schools have received the compressed curriculum. The president of the association, Welcome Tlanga, says in an effort to work with government in ensuring the curriculum is a success, heads of departments in schools are conducting meetings to better understand it.
When schools opened last month, the Minister of Education and Training, Lady Howard, said government has introduced the compressed curriculum in schools to ensure that learners cover for lost lessons during the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic when schools were closed last year. The Eswatini Principals Association says schools are working to ensure teachers better understand the curriculum.
Yes, we have received the compressed syllabuses from the Ministry of Education through regional education officers. As principals, we took those syllabuses to schools and we gave these to departments so that they could look at the curriculum to see if it is manageable. They will be able to teach it within the limited time that we have. And we believe that they will do that, but we ask for training of these teachers, because teaching a compressed syllabus needs some skill. So the ministry should come in and assist the teachers so that they can do that effectively. We have limited time at our disposal now, given that the students have been away for a full year. So trying to do everything within the short space of time before exams, it's quite a tall order. So we will need assistance from the ministry and other stakeholders.
The Ministry of Education has promised to support teachers with the curriculum. In a previous interview, the director of the National Curriculum Center, Musa Lopez, said teachers who may encounter challenges should contact the center. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Muzimkonda, Zuluini.
A very good evening once again. You are still watching Eswatini TV. Here's a look at our sports news. The Eswatini Boxing Association President Webster Lukele says the Boxing Olympics qualifiers have been cancelled. The World qualifiers were supposed to be played next month in Paris, France. Lukele said this in an interview with Eswatini TV sports journalists in Manzini.
Boxers who were not able to qualify for the Olympics during the regional qualifications had their last hopes of qualifying in the World qualifiers that were to be held in Paris, France. The qualifiers have since been cancelled. Tabiso Dlamini and Zweli Dlamini were among those hopefuls. Eswatini Boxing Association President Webster Lukele says the game have been cancelled because some countries are still under lockdown.
Basuke bawakhansela lawo ama-qualifiers lawo ngekubonakala ukuthi kulamanye amave lesifo bekungathi besisolo singade beki phasi.
Lukele says what happened is they cancelled those qualifiers after it was clear that some countries were still not active because of COVID. Lukele says they only stopped the qualifiers and they hope that local boxers will still make it to the games, more especially Tabis, who's ranked number 20, so we still have a chance to have a representative as a country.
Emhlabeni kule division yakhe 69 kg waba position ngathi nje position 20 emhlabeni wonke, so i-chance ikhona kakhulu ukuthi vele ayodlala, but isolo sigatsile.
Lukele concluded by encouraging all those athletes who are still hopeful of making it to the Olympics to continue with their training. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizo Msibi, Manzini.
Rugby President Simanga Makakula says they have decided to use the break in their activities to train more coaches and referees for the benefit of the game when it finally returns. Makakula says they do not want to see the sport die in their hands. Makakula was speaking when the executive of the association held a meeting at the Malcolm's Country Club.
Rugby has been suspended since the coronavirus outbreak last year, even after some sporting courts were considered to be low transmitters of the virus were allowed to return. They remain suspended because they are a contact sport, which increases the chances of spreading the virus. The association has not been able to do anything for more than a year now, hence they have decided to come up with trainings for their coaches and referees. Association President Simanga Makakula says they will now train their coaches, referees and team doctors trying to catch up because the sport has been greatly affected because of COVID, as they have already spent a year without being active.
Amane bagcine basibuyisele phela nekuthi ke sitawuzama ukuthi kwanyalo bebe sikubuke kakhulu ukuthi simane sitraine bo coach bethu nabo Rafaela nama medics because sports ethu silimele kakhulu ngale COVID sewumnyaka sowuphelile solo thina kude nokwendekako ukuthi bese sithembile ukuthi sina kwenza le lockdown biso likhona ulumende maybe nasi khona kade azama ngakho athawa noma asibuyele kancane but solo sizama kona kuhlanganisa lento into lethu ukuthi imali nathi sidena sithola lithuba lokusiphela umdlalo ungafeta endleni tethu sibukile.
Makakula concluded by saying they are very confident that the government will eventually allow them to play again, more especially when the COVID cases continue to drop. Makakula says they hope around June they will be able to maybe start with their trainings. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizo Msibu with Fabrice Msonera, Malkans.
Well, Eswatini, that's all for now. Before we conclude, let's have a look at tonight's headlines. On account of a recovery in economic activity in all sectors, the economy of the country is expected to grow by 2.7% in 2021. The Ministry of Education, together with UNICEF, today visited schools in Manzini to monitor compliance to the COVID-19 regulations. MTN Eswatini has launched the MTN Imfundo online application for students and teachers. And with that, we sum up our bulletin for the evening. Up next is the weather update from myself and the team here at Eswatini TV. As always, thank you for watching. Good night.